Hey guys, time to do an update video. How exciting. We have lots of cool things to show you. Let me know if you want a bump update. I don't want to give those unless they're asked for. So.
I'm alive. Still don't like the camera, but how you doing?
Whatever, he's a natural. He's all talk now. After 2 years, he's getting the hang of the camera thing.
Let's show them the roundabout that the chickens tracted. Beautiful kale, dinosaur kale. There's a, what's that red Russian one? There's a bunch of different things, but yeah, pretty happy. Especially we're putting in the rabbit poo and the extra straw that they didn't eat. And here's on this side, it's left open and the chickens have been loose. So it's a buffet.
We've had a real problem with our chickens being loose because the last group of students didn't really make a secure area for them to stay in. So they have been attacking our gardens. If you follow us on Instagram, I made like a little video complaining about it, and it's been they shit everywhere. I mean, it's a disaster, but we have a really cool system we're going to show you guys that Simon came up with.
Yeah, so in the interim to having that set up, which is going to be tomorrow, like the first phase of that, we had to grow arugula and stuff underneath a cage here, you know, and close off parts of the garden. But let's go for a little walk further.
It's very dry. We actually did have a tiny rain this month, which is very strange. We usually go 7 at least straight months with 0 rain. So that was nice, but it's dry within seconds again.
To the pond.
So this is Lucia, our German engineering.
Yeah. Wait, what's this for?
Always trust German engineering. Let's go to the pond. Bring it. Yeah, you can leave that there. So we're going to do a trial. We have Azolla. It's a super fast replicating aquatic plant that serves as fodder for a lot of animals. Decomposes in a week with bokashi.
Rich in protein, B vitamins.
Protein, so huge for egg production. So we're going to do a trial with this floating tire, and hopefully the ducks can't get in there to eat the Azolla, and we'll see if it multiplies. Over here we have a couple of helpers changing the carbon in the water filter. So that's pretty good.
Rabbits are doing good. We still are not sure if any of them are pregnant. We haven't really focused on multiplying them like we'd like to yet, because we have all these other things going on. Our ducklings are past the adolescent stage. They're like young adults now. Look at these young guys. They're bigger than mama. Some of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Everyone's alive. We have cactus everywhere.
I bet the ducks find their way on it, but we'll see.
Maybe you should put a string on this thing so you can pull it back in.
Yeah, that's a great idea. How about that?
From the German engine.
Brilliant.
Engineering team. Yeah, you could, maybe why don't you do that first?
Yeah, that would be better, right?
That's the kiwi. Alright, I guess I'll take care of that because I have to find the string. You're on the water filter. Thank you. Good.
Should I clean it first?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So we had this full like for about 2 months, and now it's been reducing back to the original pond size, which is naturally sealed because it has a level of like pure clay there. So it's slowly going down with evaporation right now, but in the sides we didn't seal it, and so you can really see how the impact of water recharge here. It's been 2 months below this level, and so much water's come out of this bank. It's still running 2 months later. This in the mountains would actually be a spring. So it just proves the concept of how important and how fast, like using swales and infiltration ponds, how fast it can recuperate the water level. We could have quite a big crop of broad beans if we wanted in here, but the idea was actually just to keep a living root in the ground and to cover the soil. It's flowering heavily now, so a legume, if you keep it you wait till it produces fruit, it actually changes from bringing nitrogen to potassium. So what we're actually going to do is terminate this. We'll roll a barrel over it and then put some of the rabbit poo into holes, and then transplant zucchinis and pumpkins and that kind of stuff, and put drip lines in here. So I'm pretty excited about having this in full production and being efficient with water. If we go over here where we haven't done anything, I'll show you what this land would look like right now. So we've invested in drip lines for the trees on the swales. This dry season's way too long without supplementing it, but we've sugarcane interplanted along here that we can see that's been cut and is serving as a mulch around the trees. So it's going to give good shade and a lot of organic matter that can help us generate a lot better soil biology.
¿Qué más?
Yeah, and this is what it would look like where the broad beans are. This is what the land looks like if we really don't take a regenerative approach to it.
It's very dry and compact.
Any water, only the hardiest of grasses and woody weeds are growing on it. Well, let's go to another part of the property where we actually deliberately interplanted several things to grow and cover the ground without watering. You see the difference. As you can see, the neighbors' chickens love it too. We're going to love one of those one of these days.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of them.
I'm sure. I have to pay a little tax. A meat tax.
Yeah, the chickens volunteer themselves when they come onto this property. If they're not giving eggs, Simon says they have to give meat.
Meat or eggs.
Meat or eggs.
So here's been interplanted. Here we have a legume that's coming up, Vicia. We have sugarcane, the macaron, coming up. We interplanted in there fennel too and broad beans. And at least, I mean, these are going to probably die except for the hardiest of ones, the sugarcane. But it's covering the soil and helping to maintain the fertility of the soil biology and build it in a time when really the 2 of the 3 rivers are dry. We also have tuna through there.
Tuna is the cactus that produces the prickly pear fruit. You're a funny looking chicken. We have more tuna drying over here so we can propagate it. Fennel. There's the fava beans.
Tobacco in the corner.
Is the tobacco alive?
Yeah.
It looks pretty dead.
No, it's alive. The top's burnt from the frost.
There's more broad beans over there. More cactus. More tuna. It's like one of my favorite fruits. So I love that we're gonna have forests of it on all corners of the property. We just made this little bridge. Yeah, it was like just 3 wooden strips, maybe 2. And there's like a little keyhole design with the molds that he used to make the stairs where we live over there. Super cool. I love symmetry. Hey, Brandon. Temperamental cat.
So we had the first cut of the wheat, which was really grown just to provide some shade and reduce evaporation while we're growing the alfalfa. And you see the alfalfa's coming through now, so it's pretty exciting. We're going to get a nice field of alfalfa to support the rabbit, urine, whatever production.
I just spotted something. I learned about this plant called Andreswaya. How cool. I had an infection in my finger like 1.5 years ago, and this woman treated my finger with this plant and it sucked the infection out and my finger was healed in like 2 days when I thought I was gonna need antibiotics to like save my finger. It's called Andreswaya in Quechua. I think it's Chilean cestrum in English. It's an incredibly powerful plant, and we just harvested a bunch along the sequía, me and a volunteer, the other day. Even though it's not really the season for it, it's still pretty young because we don't have a lot of rain. But this is the first time I've seen it on our property. This one is morado, so it is purple. But the more yellow one, that has like the yellow stem, is the one I heard is better. But they both have really powerful anti-inflammatory, yeah, a lot of good stuff. Ooh, I gotta pee, because I have to pee all the time. There's a Cape gooseberry coming in over here that's alive, which is nice, because I didn't save any of the seeds. Oh yeah, it's coming back right here too.
So, and then, you know, you could just wander around like Jane and Tarzan, foraging a little bit.
Look at this big guy.
For instance.
Yum. That would have been nice for breakfast. This is where we're doing a design we're going to tell you guys about. The one for the chicken, like a chicken tractor on steroids. And the artichokes just started coming in. coming back. We love making artichoke soup. Simon makes a really good one. And then making like a nice garlicky oil to dip the artichoke in.
I'll fill my pockets up while we're walking around.
Yeah.
Probably too much, like a Cuban cigar.
Here's one of our tobacco plant that survived the winter. So you want to explain what we're doing in here?
Yeah. So, actually, this was the first shade cloth that we put up, and I didn't really have a lot of money for posts. Everything costs money, and you really pay the price if you don't do it properly. It like would keep weighing down when it's wet, and in the big storms it would rip. So we're going to upgrade this whole thing. We've put more posts in. We're going to put a line of posts in the middle. But the exciting thing,
we got a few instant gardens in here. We took a lot out, and this is all new.
Can you see the palace?
You can't really see it. Go lift it up.
Chicken shack. 2 chicken shacks, and it's a beautiful system. We're hybridizing several methods. One is the chicken tractor on steroids system from Jeff Lawton, where the chickens should roost on the bamboo here, and then they'll poo down on what he does. He has them poo down onto grass cuttings or whatever cuttings he has, and then that starts the soil biology, and then he'll move it out and mix it with food scraps and manure, and that'll start composting, and the chickens get in there and they start eating the bacterias, and that's the protein that they get, and they move the compost for you. So we're going to have several bays for that as the compost matures, and a super efficient setup. So this is their permanent home, but we're also going to have a little tunnel system that we can open a gate and have them chicken tractor a quarter of this at a time. Now the local Wi-Fi restaurant is giving us like a big bucket of food scraps every day, so I think we can feed probably 20 chickens with that. They can make the compost for us, and they can also track our garden, so we don't have all these weeds anymore, and it also solves the fertility cycle. So yeah, pretty excited about setting that up, and it's also close to the greenhouse, which we have all the materials to expand 3 times.
Yeah, so this is the first cemented space that we're gonna fence, and we're gonna have a couple more spaces that he was saying we're gonna rotate the chickens in and out of to produce more food and just have it more organized. Yay.
And this one, I don't know, you also want to, this one I left inside, or you also want to have it out? The other ones are off.
Yeah.
So Julia is about to start putting the fence, using wire to tighten it, have it go all the way around. Super exciting to have these chickens locked in a space.
Yeah, but then when
To explain a little bit about what's going on with our neighbor, he's been producing this crop of onions, and because it's dry season, he's been watering with black water, and he's been doing it every day for weeks, which smells. I feel like asthma's been coming back for me, which I haven't had 16 years. And it got a sickness from the black water, obviously. And so he's fumigating on top of that like crazy. And so we're not happy about the situation, to say the least.
So we're going to take Jeff Lawton's design even further and incorporate a worm bin underneath this, which I've actually seen underneath the rabbit stations before. So we're mixing it with carbon, bokashi, straw, and then the idea is we'll keep filling it from here, we'll take it out, we can mix it, and whatever, it ends up being chicken food, eggs, compost, and a tractor system for the garden, plus humus for the greenhouse. So yeah, pretty excited about that. And in fact, we have our first course scheduled for the 14th of the next month, teaching this. So yeah, we got to get it finished. Ja, no más.
Trying to give each course the opportunity to do it hands-on. Oh my goodness, here's more Andres Wanya growing on our property. I've never noticed it. I'm 100% sure. I know it is, baby. I just harvested a whole bunch of this. Yeah, so cool. This tree is about to go off. We have so much fruit, the most that we've ever had.
We just emptied the second filter bucket and the third one. The second one finished with the finest layer being sand, and what we found was that a lot of it actually passed through the netting and ended up at the bottom, so it wasn't doing its function properly. And we're taking this opportunity to also change the carbon, which should be good for 2 years. It's been about 1.5 years, and we looked at it and it's actually really good. There was a little bit of algae on some of the connections inside the system. And
like the tiniest bit.
Yeah, the tiniest bit, and that happens when you have some organic matter in the filter. Probably for when we first put it in there, wouldn't have affected the water quality. But our interest is actually to prove the system by taking a before and after analysis of the water as it comes in, and then the water as it comes out, because there are limitations to this kind of water filter. Apparently it doesn't take out dissolved solids.
This warrior princess is getting the hardest part. Look at that heavy lifting. Look at that heavy lifting. Let's see what's in there. What have you taken out?
Just a little water and some sand.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
Catch.
Catch. I'm fast.
Okay.
The things we do to entertain ourselves.
Is it okay to give the CDS water to the plants?
That's a good question.
Yes, okay.
Clean.
Yep. It had a little bit more algae than the first one, but just very little.
Good.
Okay, so that's what we have for now. An update from the farm. For a full uncut version and more detailed videos, go to our Patreon page, and thanks to those that support us there too.
Yep, and check back. We'll do another update soon on how things are progressing. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Come
Bye.
visit. See ya.
Real quick, I'm going to give you guys an update. Our puppy, our sweet, probably 100-pound puppy. He's now, I think, 10 months old. And one morning we noticed that his eye was super inflamed, like he has pink eye, and we think he got it from the sewage water that our neighbor's been using to water his crops. And look how cute. This guy is just, I can't with him. I'm so in love with him. He's a huge trooper. He's actually really happy. He's just really tired right now. He's been like the happiest dog, despite me treating his eye every day. I've been treating it with chamomile and comfrey, and it has helped. It's just you have to do it multiple times a day. I've been doing about 3, and it's just not quite enough. It's not progressing as quickly as we'd like. So I just went ahead and bought some eye drops from the vet because I don't want him to lose his eye. So I'm gonna give him some eye drops. All is good with the other animals. Rocky, Freddy. We haven't had Malbena the horse for a couple months now. She's been back with her owners. We tried to visit her. She's looking pretty skinny again, to be honest, which isn't very fun. Hey boy, hey sweet boy. He's my sweetie. How's my sweetie? Oh, look at that eye. It's red. We're gonna give him some drops.